Here I am after so many years, hounded by hatred and trapped by fear. I'm in a box. I've got no place to go. If I follow my mind, I know I'll slaughter my own. Help me, I'm the prisoner. Won't you hear my plea? I need somebody, yeah, to listen to me. I beg you, brothers and sisters, I'm counting on you, yeah. Black babies in the womb, shackled and bound, chained by the caveman who keeps beauty down, smacked on the ass when they're squalling and wet. Heir to a spineless man who never forgets, never forgets that he's a prisoner. Can't you hear my plea? 'Cause I need somebody, Lord knows, to listen to me. I'm a stranger to my son who wonders why his daddy runs, yeah.
Reading, peace, and love. Welcome to the N.E.P.P.C podcast. That's the Northeast Political Prisoner Coalition podcast. I'm Brother Frank, and I'm with my brother and former political prisoner.
Abdul Haq Islam.
Today's episode will be dealing with the stopping the violence in preparation for this upcoming summer, the summer of 2022. We are going to relate the work of political prisoners, former political prisoners, and current political prisoners who are involved or have ideas that are beneficial towards stopping the violence in the community. And as we deal with the summer, we know that historically there's an increase in violence. So we have to think about what the political prisoners of have done before the incarceration, because these ideas or these actions in our community are not new. So we have to take a position. We got to get organized and we got to get serious. So today we're going to be dealing with a member of the Stop the Killing campaign. His name is Shimley Brown. He's going to talk to us about the work that has been done and what's coming up, because there's going to be a very important film that's going to be shown June 15th. That's a Wednesday at 7 p.m. It's going to be shown at New Canaan Baptist Church, located at 135 Jefferson. The film is going to be dealing with eyes. It's called Eyes on the Prize 2, and that's a documentary, and it deals with power. So they're dealing with the Black Panther Party, how they organize around power, and how the Ocean Hill Brownsville struggle, how parents of the students in Ocean Hill Brownsville decided that they were going to organize. Now you're asking yourself, what does this have to do with political prisoners? Well, political prisoners prior to their incarceration, they were involved in those type of struggles. It was the struggles for self-determination. So we have to talk about that, and we got to connect that, because it's ongoing, the struggle for self-determination, to make a clear decision about you will fight for what's in your own interest. So I don't want to take up too much time, because it's me and Abdul Haq's time to talk about political prisoners and what's going on currently and make the relationship. So Abdul Haq.
Peace and love, black power, self-determination. That's what we are pushing forward, during this time period, self-determination to solve the critical issues in our community. Right now, every time the news come on, that's all we hear about is this madness in our streets. Over and over and over again, all the headlines. In various cities around the country, talking about this violence, this gun violence, this killing that's going on. And another thing that is coming out is that this ain't happening nowhere else but in America. So America can't be the solution. You understand? If this is happening nowhere else but in America, how's we gonna look to America to be in the solution? We look at towards self-determination as a solution, and this makes it clear that our political prisoners need to be out here free, working among us. Those who've had years of experience, years of scholarship, studying the issues, the problems of our community. They need to be out here with us right now, and indeed they can be a great asset in resolving this contradiction. The political prisoners, these are brothers and sisters who had great respect in the street. You understand? What they call street credibility. And these are the type of individuals that folks listen to. For example, Imam Malik, formerly known as Jeff Fort, was leader of the Blackstone Rangers, who later became the Black Peacestone Nation, and Il Rukins. His daughter, you know, um, had led a group called the Interrupters, and made a film called The Interrupters, which you can look up. Go online. If you look up Interrupters by itself, you'll get a singing group that sings some type of rock and roll stuff. But if you look up Interrupters, the movie, you understand, you can that movie will come up, and Amina Matthews, you understand, the daughter of Imam Malik, formerly known as Jeff Fort, led this initiative in Chicago and has turned the lives of many people around. So we can never feel that this crisis is so overwhelming that there's nothing that we can do about it. In fact, so many people, the hearts of so many people being touched, and many people starting to organize around this issue, that we can feel the strength in numbers, and to understand that indeed through self-determination we can resolve this issue. Brother Matulu is another brother who engaged in a program to stop the violence. Him and his son Tupac, had a program called The Code, which called for stopping the killing, stop the shooting near schools and playgrounds, and this is a brother also, very, very respected brother,
Yes.
Brother I know who I personally did time with, who wasn't scared of nothing on earth, wasn't scared of nothing at all, and has immense respect among, the so-called lumpen proletariat, the ones that they call the criminal class, the warrior class. He has tremendous respect among them. Right now the brother is in hospice, stage 4 cancer, so he needs to.
We got to bring him home now.
He got to come home, so that whatever time he has left, he can be around friends and loved ones. Also, Reverend Joy Powell, a sister, led a Stop the Violence program in the street, before some jealous cops, enemy police, framed her, and had her incarcerated, So Brother Neo, let her know that we gave her respect on the podcast today, and she needs to be free, to share her expertise. There she is right there, to share her expertise in stopping the killing. Sundiata Kohli, a brother, we're very, very well respected, in the community, who can contribute much to stopping the killing. Imam Jamil Alameen, formerly known as H. Rap Brown, a very, very highly spiritual brother. This is a brother who has turned the lives of many people, brothers and sisters around, so-called lumpen proletariat, what they call the criminal class. Veronza Bowers, we did a thing on him a couple of weeks ago, and we mentioned that part of his expertise is through music and meditation, healing people, and the people with this rage in them that often turns into violence. He was very, very successful in the joint, in lowering that temperature. Michelle McGee, Russell Maroon Schultz, another brother. When there was beef in the penitentiary, they would come and get him to resolve the beef. So, this is an indication that these type of brothers that have these skills and this type of love for their people, this type of concern for their people, these are the ones that need to be free among us to solve this problem. We cannot look to the beast to solve the problem. As the news always indicates, America is the only place in the world where this madness is going on. So how are we going to look for a beast to show us the way? A beastly culture, a culture, you understand, led by those who went to Hiroshima and Nagasaki and murdered 250,000 people when they knew Japan was willing to surrender to Russia, but they didn't want that to happen because they wanted to be in the world leadership. All the media, the culture, the shows, everything you see is about violence and killing. You understand? In the music, all about violence and killing. The music industry says that they put this type of culture out there because this is what sells.
Yeah, brother. Excellent point as always, and I think that our people need to understand that. So right now we're going to introduce our brother on the front line, Shimwe Brown.
Straight ahead.
Hey, peace and love,
Peace,
brother.
everybody.
Peace and love.
You on with
How
us?
y'all
Good
doing?
to see you, and thanks for coming on. So just state your name and the program that you're part of, the campaign rather that you're part of.
Okay, my name is Shinwe Brown, as you can see in the left corner. I'm part of the December 12th movement that's located in Brooklyn at 456 Frederick Douglass Square, formerly known as Nostrand and Jefferson Avenue. Uh, I am the grandson of the chairperson of the December 12th, Viola Plummer, and the son of Robert Taylor, who unfortunately passed away 4 years ago, almost to
And
the day.
also was a political prisoner, and
My
also
co-defendant.
in my political education teacher. So it's an honor to have you on our show, and we salute you. You represent that generation that needs to be out there in response to these killings that's going on. So just explain to the people about the Stop the Killing campaign.
Okay, well, in August of last year, the brothers from December 12th saw all the crazy shootings that were taking place within Brooklyn. And we decided that it was time for black men in the community of Bedford Stuyvesant to stand up. And so we formed our core correlation group of members. That's us right there. We formed that, and we created a
Mm-hmm.
Stop the Killing movement. And every Saturday, every Monday, every Tuesday, we will be out trying to get the community's involvement to stopping these killings. Because right now, because when that took place, that was last summer, and over the winter there were many shootings that occurred in Brooklyn. People got shot. There was a lot of memorials being built by the families of the loved ones who passed away. And so we're saying to the black men in this community that we have to stand up, because this culture is not ours to be shooting each other in the streets, because that's how they erase us out of Brooklyn. That's one of the reasons ethnic cleansing is taking place, because they're killing us in our own community.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as I would like to say that it still continues on, because right now in June 8th, we still had shootings. There was a shooting that took place in Buffalo. There was a shooting of unarmed pedestrians walking down Gates Avenue that was shot. Just random bystanders that was shot right in our own community. There was a 4-year-old girl that was shot in East New York. So it's time for us to take a stand, because if we don't take that stand, that's how we get released from our community. That's how we move out, because now there's unsafe conditions, and that condition is only being put in place because somebody doesn't want us to live in the communities that we lived in for so long. And back in the day, this never would have happened, because there was black men in the community making sure that nobody was shooting at a 4-year-old girl, that nobody
Right.
was shooting
Right. Like
Right.
there would be
three.
serious consequences behind that.
Yeah.
Exactly, because we took control of that. It wasn't the police. The police will not stop it. The police will further instigate what is going on. They won't
Right. We're
stop
gonna
it.
stop it. We will stop the
We
killing.
have to stop. We have to stop the
Right.
killings.
Shimwei, your father was my co-defendant, on my case. Father's Day is coming up. So can you relate some of the lessons that your father gave you, some of the wisdom, and also what the fathers need to do in terms of stopping the kill? I remember your father used to always tell you about thinking logically, using your head, another
Hmm.
guidance that he gave you, So you want to speak on that and and relate that to our work right now in the streets?
Yes, of course. My father, who is the name Robert Taylor, was a political prisoner because him, along with 7 other members, including my grandmother and Abdul Haq, were arrested by the FBI on thoughts of treason and terrorism, which simply did not exist, because all they were doing was trying to make sure that they uplift the
New York 8.
wrongdoings in their community, because back then I believe it was around 1960 to the time period of 1980. Around then, it was in the community protesting against wrongdoings that was taking place in both the Black and Puerto Rican community, because those communities were being affected as well. And so some of the wisdoms that he taught me was that logically you have to use your head in every environment. You have to
Yeah.
know what it is to be Black in this country, because unfortunately people don't think that we exist. They do not. They don't think that we matter as a, because the struggle that we have to endure is the struggle for us to be seen as human beings, not second class citizens, because that exists nowhere else on this planet except in America, because we accept it. And so he told me that I had to use my head. He told me how to address myself when I'm being pulled over by the police, because a lot of times we do go outside and the police will harass us. The police will do anything, including kill us. And so it just is just some of the things that he told me. He told me how you're not to get under the influence of drugs, because that can also lead to your demise. And it led to many people's demises, including having health problems, which in 2020 it expanded upon the health crisis that was happening because COVID got involved. And not everybody has good health care, because America is not for the people. America is for the individual, and making sure that whoever got in COVID, that the select few that looked like them was taken care of. And meanwhile, 80% of the Black community was being halted and died and being put in hospitals because they couldn't handle the disease that was causing so much demise in our community.
Excellent, brother. I just want to, yeah, that's a great point, and I want to salute you again because you are taking a position that's not common. When I say that is that your age, the age group that you represent, they might just be want to get on the internet, be on TikTok, and just spend a whole bunch of their time doing things that's not necessarily directed to the problem, because we live in a world where you have a number of distractions. Just like former political prisoner and our field marshal Coltrane Shimarenga used to say, that there was a mountain of distractions. And I think that that's very important that we understand that. And for you to take the time to do what you're doing, we have to salute that. We have to recognize that, and we have to get others to follow your lead. So what I would like for you to talk about right now is what's coming up, right? Because I know there's going to be something going on June 15th. So speak on that.
Okay, well, what me and Frank decided to do was that the people involved in the Stop the Killing movement, we wanted to show a viewing to the community of some of the past things that was relevant then and that are relevant now. And that movie or that documentary is called Eyes on the Prize too. It's from 1965 to 1985. What we'll be showing on the 15th, the address is 135 Jefferson Avenue. What we'll be showing is
7
what took
p.m.
place. Yes, New Canaan Baptist Church. What took place during what happened and what led to the involvement of the Black Panther Party with Bobby Seale and Huey P. Newton, and what was going on in Los Angeles, California, and how that influenced the movement of the brown of
Ocean Hill,
common
Brownsville.
Ocean Hill, Brownsville, in 271 High School over on Herkimer and Saratoga. Uh, and the movement that took place then, because the community's response to having being taught, having being taught by all these white teachers that was not teaching them, and the community felt like those teachers were putting those Black children in a bad place, because now they might not get the opportunities to go to college, or they might not get the opportunities to get a job, because back in the 1970s, it was super hard for Black folks, especially in the Black community, to get a job in those areas. So that's how the communities responded over in Los Angeles with the Black Panther Party and how they had the programs, and over in Ocean Hill, Brownsville, when the schools were not being put for the best interests of the children.
All right, that's well said and to the point. And we encourage all those who are viewing right now to share with at least 10 people. We got to get that word out because we want to have that church pack. That's 135 Jefferson. It's going to be June 15th. That's a Wednesday at 7 p.m. Because we got to educate ourselves on what we need to do so we can organize around these killings that's going on in our community in the spirit of the political prisoners, past and present, because the political prisoner has the ideas that are needed to eradicate these problems from our community. So again, we say peace and black power to everybody. So any closing remarks, brother?
Just want to say that we will stop the killings, and just be sure to be there on June 15th at New Canaan Baptist Church.
Right, and just provide the people with a phone number too, man.
Yes. My phone number is 347.
No, the 718, the Sisters Place.
Sorry about that. The phone number for Sisters Place and how to get involved in the Stop the Killing movement is 718-398-1766.
Okay, again, that's 718-398-1766.
Yes.
Okay, my brother. So peace, and I'll see you on the streets.
Peace. I'll see you on the streets too, man.
Peace and love.
So there you have it. One of our young comrades on the
One of our youth,
on the
right?
front line, right?
One of our youth on the front line.
One of our youths on the front line.
Yeah.
That's right. So we want the people to come on out because we got to talk about what's going on in our community, and we got to talk about what we need to do about it. We said that the absence of black men is the reason why these killings continue to go on. We say that our children don't need to be traumatized by bullets and bloodshed. They need to be experiencing this important time of their lives, their childhood. Their childhood is fast and it's short and it's quick, and they want to enjoy every moment of it. They don't need to be traumatized. So we have to organize, and we have to get that done. And all of this relates to each other because it's a struggle for self-determination. We are determined to live in the right way in our own interests. And we say that the African Proverbs says it plainly and correctly and sharply when it says it takes a village to raise a child. So all of us have to be involved. We got to roll up our sleeves and be prepared to do some work. And we have to think about our political prisoners who are currently incarcerated because of their struggle, their participation, that is, in our national liberation struggle. And because they are lovers of freedom and they understand that freedom is more important than life, that they are willing to put their lives on the very front line. Some of them didn't make it and passed on and are martyrs, and we honor them by doing our work, because I say that it's not enough to say you respect somebody. You have to show that in practice, in deeds. And that's why we commit ourselves to this podcast every week, to let people know that our political prisoners need to be discussed. We need to struggle. We tell people to write our political prisoners. We tell people to share what we're doing, and we ask that you hit like, share with 10 people, because this message has to go on.
Multiply this message.
And what's coming up too on another end is the African International Arts Festival. That's going to be July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and
4th.
And 4th, right?
Yeah,
1st,
July,
2nd, and 3rd, 4th, and
July,
we're at
Commodore Barry Park. That's at what's that? That's downtown
Brooklyn.
Yeah, Flatbush and cross street.
Right. So you just look out for the African International Street Festival.
African Street Festival, right? Commodore Barry Park.
Right. We'll have a table there, and we'll be giving out information on political prisoners, and we'll be talking about that with anybody who's out there, because we want people to understand that our political prisoners can't be ignored. We can't afford to do that, because what does that tell the next generation? who are fighting for our freedom, who are fighting for national liberation. They're going to think, look what happened to those who were captured. And if that happens to me, I don't want to experience that torturous um, feeling, because that's what it is. You know, we said it before, we're going to say it again. You know, Mumi Abu Jamal said that picture yourself being in your bed 23 hours a day. He said that's what it's like for him being incarcerated. And he's been there for over 40 years now. And Matulu, he's going through a very rough time. And our thoughts and our prayers and our meditation and whatever is necessary goes out to the family.
Yeah, man.
Tell them to keep strong, because we want to do our part, and that's why we're out here every week to talk about political prisoners, talk about what we need to do. They can't die in prison. And as you see, the sign says, don't let U.S. held political prisoners die in prison. We're serious about that. And we want people to continue to pass the word on, do your part, write a political prisoner, donate. We have the Cash App. They're up. Talk to the people while I put the cash up, brother.
I want to correct something I said. I wasn't prepared for that question. The African Arts Festival is at Flushing and Navy Streets. Okay, and about the African Arts Festival, I've been going there many, many years, and they don't have that madness, that shooting, that violence, that killing. You understand? That happens all over America. You know, because the people there have a certain culture, a certain political line. You understand? The people that deal with self-determination, you understand, and with self-determination, we understand that we can resolve our own problems and ain't got to look to a beast to solve our problems. You understand? We are in a beastly culture. So scientifically, why would we look to a beast to solve our problems? You know, we down with self-determination. Self-determination ain't something that you just practice on December 27th. You know, self-determination, you understand, being in charge of your own destiny is something that we practice all the time. You understand? That becomes part of our being. And in self-determination, we understand that scientifically, you know, the beastly culture, you understand, that we live in, you understand, produces these atrocious acts. You understand? And we understand, by understanding self-determination, we understand when great crowds of people who believe in self-determination come together, this type of stuff don't happen. It's very, very interesting that in Philly on South Street, where the Doomsday Festival is held. A few days ago, they had a shooting on South Street, you understand, right down the street from where the Doomsday Festival is heard. The Doomsday Festival, the biggest gathering of black people, the biggest festival on American soil. 500,000 people come, and they ain't never had one incident. You understand? You get the people to follow this mad culture, you understand? This gangster killerism type of stuff, you know, you can't get 40 of them come together, you understand, without them killing one another, hating on one another. You understand? It's like you know, when two dogs see one another, you understand, instead of embracing each other with love, you know, their first instinct is to growl and want to attack one another. You know, you understand? But when we get 600,000 people together, you understand, and ain't never been one violent incident, this should tell us something. This should tell us that we got the solution. You understand? That the solution is with us through loving ourselves, through the understanding that Black is beautiful. We're having a program, Black is Beautiful, Sisters Place, on the 25th of June. It's coming up, you know. Father's Day is coming up. We're saying that the fathers need to take the responsibility, you understand, to give their offspring some wisdom, some knowledge, some education, some guidance. And Brother A.T. Mitchell is having a big march, an annual Father's Day march across the Brooklyn Bridge, gathering at what's the name of that place, brother?
The Barclay?
The Barclay Center. Gathered at the Barclay Center on June 18th. the march across the Brooklyn Bridge and going to the African burial ground. So we're saying that this violence, the fathers got to we got to be a great appeal to fathers right now. You understand, to take up this struggle. And that self-determination is the way. You understand that the philosophy of our political who is locked down, and this message need to be out here in the street, multiplied over and over and over again. I tell 10 people. It's the 10 people they tell 10 people.
Yes.
The 10 people they tell 10 people. And
Yes.
on and on and on and on and on. Till the break of dawn, as they say. But
Yes.
to multiply this message and make it grow big, you understand that these brothers and sisters with this type of scholarship, this type of love for our people, this type of experience, you understand, in dealing with problems like this, need to be home with us. You understand? And we got black power. You understand? We got black power on lockdown. You understand? Like gold and diamonds, our black power is on lockdown. You understand? So we must stand up and say, free them all.
Free them all. Right. And so everything that needs to be said has been said. If you happen to be in New York this Saturday at 12 p.m., they're going to have this tribute to the ancestors. We're going to be out there too, representing the ideas of the political prisoner, talking to people. We're going to also be talking about the Stop the Killing campaign. Before we go off, I just wanted to post what's going on that same day in Georgia. Yeah, we got to support the work that's going on in Georgia. So this community rally is going to be in Georgia, Malcolm X Park. It's going to be Saturday, June 11th at 6 p.m. We have the address there. Please share with as many people as possible. If you happen to be in that area, make time to check
That's
it on
Imam
out.
Jamil's area. That's Imam Jamil Al-Amin's area. It used to be known as H. Rap Brown, West End Masjid. Right across the street from the location of the West End Masjid.
All right, so everything that needed to be said has been said, and we have committed ourselves once again to the ideas of freeing our political prisoners. They are not terrorists. They are political prisoners. They are our freedom fighters. They understand oppression and how they need to deal with it, and it has to be expressed in an organized manner. So what's the call?
Free them all.
Free them all. But we're going to sound off with the words of Killer Mike.
Right on, Killer Mike.
This as well, and I have to give the credit to this idea of Miss Kathy Hughes of Radio 1. She's like, Michael, it is time that you guys organize a fund to set aside to help people who sacrifice for our freedom. Meaning, every time something happens, I hear this. Why don't the gang bangers jump up and do something for us? Why don't you kill them? You kill each other. And I say to myself, when is the last time you sent money to Assata Shakur? When is the last time you sent money to Matulu Shakur? When is the last time you sent money to Mumia Abu Jamal or Larry Hoover or Jeff Ford or Leonard Peltier? When is the last time you have made it your business to send money to a revolutionary or a hoodlum that has helped us? And until we start to do that, how can we ask these young men to be warriors? Because if they do it in the name of the hood, at least the hood gonna honor their name always. At least the hood gonna make sure at least their children got something or their mama's house is looked after. As a community, if we're going to ask people to bungee jump for us with no cord, be prepared to take care of them when they get a life sentence. Be prepared to look after their families. See, I don't mind the work getting done, but let's take care of the workers. Let's stop asking more out of people than we would do for ourselves. So what I'd like to see, my dream thing, is to see 1 million people from the culture dedicate $10 a month. That's $10 million a month, $120 million a year toward taking care of civil rights leaders who have worked on our behalf and are elderly now and don't have to take care of themselves, like Rosa Parks, whose rent was paid by the owner of Little Caesars Pizza. We should have had a fund to make sure that she never had to worry about that again in her life. We should have a fund that makes sure money makes it to Assata Shakur, and Matulu Shakur has legal representation and food, and Leonard Peltier, who has diabetes in jail, can get insulin and taken care of. And until we start doing it, $10 a month is about what you pay on a couple fast food restaurant visits. So if 1 million of us do that for the rest of our life, look at how well we'll be taking care of the people that we're asking to sacrifice on our behalf.
I agree, and
What's the call?
Primo.
What's the call?
Primo.
What's the call?
Primo.